My name's Nate, and this is Heavy Pedal Garage. So this thing is really starting to come together. All the major work is done, I hope, cross my fingers. And we're ready to start sanding through the grits to get ready for paint. So I've been thinking a lot about how I'm gonna approach this, and I think I'm just gonna start where I started before, which is the rear quarters. So with both of these rear quarters, I replaced from about here down. And on the front of the wheel well, same thing, from there down got replaced. You know, if I had to do it all over again, I probably would do skins or full quarters. But you know, for what it is, just replacing the bottom parts, really, I don't think turned out too bad, but we'll see. I've only been over it one time. Panels were welded on, body filler over the welds, and it was sanded down with 80 grit and then 120 and primered. So as we're going through the grits here, we're really gonna see how well my first round of body work is. You know, when I was spraying this epoxy primer, it was coming out pretty thick, and over time I kind of learned how to set my gun and how to thin out the epoxy to get it to lay a little better. As you can see up here on the roof, only one round of body work, but it's a lot more smooth and shiny, so no big deal. We're just gonna go through the grits. I'm gonna start with 120 to cut through that peel, and we'll see what we find. Bring you in here before it gets too dark. Such a nice evening for December, my goodness. But yeah, I got a few shiners that pop through, which is fine. I'm just gonna stop there. And I still have some things to do with my round block to kind of clean up some of these contours here, but I really like this epoxy primer. It's PPG CRE, corrosion resistant epoxy. It blocks out really nice. I mean, you can see the powder falling right off of there. You got to kind of break through that first skin, the top layer, and then it just blocks down nice. It's got good build. So I think I'm just going to keep on going with 120 on this, cut the peel out of there, and then probably hit it with another round of primer. Right in through here, I got some work to do to get that to kind of crisp up a little bit and straighten out that line. So I'm just going to take some tape and we'll go ahead and work up to the edge of that and get it going to where it's just nice and tight. Pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is use my crosshatch pattern, but I'm just going to work down to the tape and the body line, and I'm going to be sure to not curl my block down over. So basically, when I bring it down, I'm just going to let it hover right over the top of that body line. And that tape just kind of serves as a guide, but right here, I still need to do some work. We're starting to see a little bit of metal right here, so I'm going to have to be careful. And I'll be sure to stop. Okay, I'm starting to see some metal come through. So I think I'm just going to stop right there, and we'll hopefully be able to clean it up with the next primer. Looks pretty good, right? Nice and crisp. I still got a little bit right here that needs to be sanded further, but I'm not going to worry about that. We'll pick that up on the next primer. So the next thing I want to do is just redo my tape, only this time I'm going to put it on the top end of the body line. Match it right up the best I can. Something like that. Look at that, I can even reuse my tape. And then I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to sand up to the tape. And we're going to be really careful to not wrap the block over. But our tape is there to kind of help. Use your crosshatch. I'm getting closer. I'm just going to keep going until I either see metal or until the black gets sanded through to where it shows gray. Another great thing about this primer is that when you sand it, it does have that black shine, but as soon as you sand it, it turns gray. So first round of blocking, you don't need to use guide coat. Show you what it looks like. So we're getting pretty close. But where that metal's coming through, I think I'm just going to leave it there. And we'll prime it and do that all over again. So we're going to move from where I started along the body line, and we're going to start blending it down through. This part's the part I'm nervous about because this is where I patched in those pieces, and it's also got a little bit of a dish, a little bit of a bevel right here that I'll need to work across. So we're just going to get it going and see where it turns up. So I gotta say that the fact that I've got a lot of peel in this primer is, I'm sure, making this job a little bit harder. It's gonna take me a little bit longer. I definitely learned how to set my gun up to where I wasn't getting as much peel, but the first stuff that I sprayed, I got to deal with it. So as you guys know, I'm just a guy in the garage, just like you, out here doing what you love to do. And unfortunately, there's a learning curve involved with some of this stuff. So again, guys, I'm just a hobbyist trying to bring you some good tips and some good tricks as I'm doing it out here in the garage, and this is part of the learning process. So I'm gonna get back to sanding, and I'll catch you up here in a little bit. Oh yeah, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this stuff. Give me a subscribe. We're almost up to 350 subscribers, so really appreciate it, and hope you enjoy it. Leave me a comment if there's anything I could do differently on the car or with the videos. Anything I'm doing wrong, if you guys want to point it out, I really appreciate that, because again, just a guy in the garage making this happen, trying to bring you some goofy videos here and there to kind of bring you along for the ride. So thanks again, guys, and let's get back to sanding. Looking pretty good. I think everything is moving right along. It's turning out just the way I was hoping. So give you a quick shot here before I start taping it up. I'm getting ready for primer. So we'll get it all prepped up and cleaned up and ready to go. So this turned out great, guys. I am really excited. I mean, it's really starting to come together here. Pretty happy with all the body work. Everything turned out great. I don't really see any ripples or waves. I got just a couple spots, which it probably won't show up on camera, but a little bit right there where I might need to do some filler. And then there's kind of like a little ding right here that might need some filler, but really not too bad at all. The rest of it is just sharp. So stay with me, guys, here. Like, subscribe, give me a comment, let me know what you think. I love seeing the comments. I love responding to them. Follow along as we build this Firebird. It's going to be one heck of a street machine when we're done, and I'd really like for you guys to follow along and see where this thing ends up. Thanks for stopping by Heavy Pedal Garage. Catch me next time.